we're sponsored by the Rule of Law Foundation in New York. And we are members of the new Federal State of China, which is completely independent from the current Chinese communist dictatorship in Communist China. And our mission is to take down the Chinese Communist Party because they are the root cause of all the global disasters and humanitarian crisis. As an independent filmmaker, I'm sure you're very well informed about the atrocities committed by the Chinese Communist Party globally, including this war. Xi Jinping is a friend of Putin, and they're supporting this wall. And everybody's aware of the human rights abuse in China, and so people in China have no freedom of belief, freedom of speech, and freedom of press. So we, the new Chinese people from the new Federal State of China, we are taking down the Chinese Communist Party because we want to help China to become a peaceful and more responsible member of the international community.
Mm-hmm. And so we were talking to one of your colleagues outside who said that the group is made up of people who've escaped from China.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about your story and what happened and that experience for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think every Chinese person who have escaped communist China, be it in Australia, America, Canada, Spain, Italy, we all have an individual story about the persecution. Because if China, communist China is a happy place, you wouldn't see so many Chinese diaspora from around the world. You come from Australia, right? There are so many Chinese people, and people do not want to go back because in China, if you have a different opinion, if you don't want to obey the order from the Chinese Communist Party, you will be in trouble. You won't get a good job, and you won't get promoted, and sometimes they will arrest you and imprison you, and so there's a huge human cost of fighting against the Chinese Communist Party. So I think that for my parents' generation, they've been through the Cultural Revolution, and for a lot of people over the age of 50 who might very be aware of the Cultural Revolution, where it's a disaster that many Chinese people have been killed by the Chinese Communist Party, and also the very infamous one-child policy, which is a forced abortion, has killed hundreds of millions of Chinese babies. And women has been forced to do abortion and the concentration camps. So my family, we live in the mainland China, and so my parents were sent down to a village in the deep mountain to be re-educated, to raise pigs, because they have knowledge in their mind. They don't agree with the narratives pushed upon them by the Chinese Communist Party. And also, when I was very young, I saw the image of that one man standing in front of the tank. That's the famous Tiananmen massacre. And so the Chinese Communist Party actually used the tanks to crush people's free and peaceful movement for freedom. And I think that image will always stick into people's mind.
Okay. And how did your parents escape from the re-education camp to America?
Well, the Cultural Revolutions lasted for about a decade, and then it finished. So I was able to go back to Beijing to get my normal schooling, and so after my college, I applied for school in America, and I came as a student, and I stayed. And America is my country. I'm a proud U.S. citizen.
Amazing. And so what has the organization been doing to support refugees here?
Yeah, so if you talk to the many refugees here at Medica, and almost everyone, I guarantee, will tell you this is the largest and most well-equipped tent with the best facility, state-of-art heating, electricity, 24/7 security. And this tent alone has received over 10,000 refugees over the last 4 or 5 months. 10,000. So this has the largest capacity of receiving the refugee, especially women, children. And as you can see, we have many supplies. We have the kids corner, sleeping bag and airbag and everything. So and we also had a bus service taking people from Lviv in Ukraine and to Krakow in Poland. We rescued over 2,000 refugees, and in particular, we worked with a Spanish foundation and the Ukrainian government and the Polish government. We rescued about 98 small children from an orphanage in Nikopol in Ukraine. We took the kids out and brought them to Barcelona in Spain. And we work with the foundation and help each and every child to have a loving, warm host family until the war ends, so that their parents can come back and take the kids back. So yeah.
And do you see a similarity between people who had to flee China back after the Cultural Revolution and this situation that's happening here from Ukraine?
I think that it's very different because the Cultural Revolution and the Chinese exodus from the Communist China was caused by the Chinese Communist Party. It's an internal problem, and so the people cannot stand the abusive policy, the repression. So people had to leave their own country. But for the Ukrainian people, it's really the Russian, the Putin, forced them out. So it's very different.